Hello, everyone. This is David, Fairly Secret Music. Today is year 1989. This is in response to Metal Mickey's 89 top 10 albums of that year. And I didn't think I explained it in my 88 video, so I'll explain it here. If I did not own the album at the time, even though I may love it now, I can't put it in the video. I wanted to show albums that were hugely influencing me at that time of my life. So 89, that would have been 11th grade, or from 10th grade going into 11th grade. Wait, 89. Yeah, that would have been 10th grade, or 11th grade, sorry. So albums like Voivod, Nothing Face, I can't have in here. Can't have Fugazi, 13 songs, even though I think they're both great albums. I can't have them in my list because, or no, was it 13 songs? Or yeah, or Repeater or whatever. I can't have them in there because I wasn't listening to them at the time. So I have 4 honorable mentions, and then my 10 will go in a rough kind of order down to the last 2 or 3 or 4 will be the best, or what I think is the best. So honorable mention goes to Mr. Big's first album. I saw them on this tour with another band. They opened up for a band that is, let's see, probably around 6 in my list. Lion, Trouble in Angel City. I had it. I thought it was good, but not as good as their first album. I like it a lot better now. I think it's really good now, but at the time I didn't listen to it a ton. But luckily I still had it. Badlands. A lot of people are looking for this on vinyl or maybe CD. I'm not sure. They can't repress it because of some issues with things that the singer did. And this was a hard one for me to keep out of my top 10 because I do like this album, but for a long time I didn't own it because I had it on cassette and bought it in 89, but for a long time I didn't own it because I just didn't like it as much as them, and I didn't like them even or as much as Abigail. So yeah, this one just snuck out of the top 10. So, who is in the top 10? Blue Murder. I saw them on this tour, and they were awesome. I wish I knew what I know now about fretless bass playing and stuff like that, because I would have paid attention to their bass player just constantly and been blown away. I've seen videos from this tour, and I'm like, I don't remember, like, I just wasn't musically inclined as well as I am now. That sounds kind of pretentious. Just yeah, awesome. I bought this at a holiday. So we used to have these big stores called Holidays Superstores. They were basically like a grocery store and a department store all in one, and they were open 24 hours a day. And I saw this a few times before I got it, and I just decided I'm going to give it a shot. And I was hooked. I love this album. This is probably in the top 3 Tragically Hip albums for me, at least. And just fantastic album. This was probably the first really extreme metal album that I got. I would sit in art class tapping, and doing the drum parts. This is Gene Hoglan's first band, Dark Angel, or the first thing that I know he's in. And there's a song called Agony. I would just sing it to myself. Agony! I'm a study in despair, dominated by the promise of agony. And my classmates, who actually knew, the one guy who actually kind of got me into it, Mike, he actually got so sick of me singing that song, which I think is funny because he was the one who actually turned me on to these guys. Everybody is going to show Overkill Years of Decay. Anybody who's doing this series of videos. I don't think I need to say anything other than best Overkill album ever. I was working at Target, and my boss, or my supervisor, he got me into Rush. He got me into Rush and a band called Marillion too. But this was the very first Rush album that came out after I became obsessed with Rush. And I saw them on this tour. It was the only tour I think that I saw at the old Met Center. And I may have seen Tom Petty too. Mr. Big actually opened for them. Queen, The Miracle. Oh my God, this is a great album. People who think that the Queen's heyday was in the 70s never listen to their 80s stuff. Yeah, you got Hot Space, not the greatest album, but a kind of Magic, The Miracle, Innuendo, just amazing stuff. We used to watch the, I Want It All video. And I still swear to God that he's playing double bass in that song. I was super excited for this to come out. This was the first album that came out after I got into Marillion. And I really liked Steve Hogarth's voice right off the bat. I was okay with Fish being gone because I knew that in 1990... that Fish would put out another album. Yeah. Because it was 1990 that Fish's Vigil came out. So that'll be in my next video. But yeah, totally different sound from previous Marillion albums, especially vocal-wise, but just a solid album. And the song The Space, which ends this album, is awesome. It's awesome. I saw these guys with Blue Murder opening up for Billy Squier, and King's X blew everyone away. King's X, Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. Their logo is so tiny on there. But yeah. Honestly, if you are interested in King's X, maybe Dogman. I know Metal Mickey loves Dogman, but I don't know how much he's delving into that. Oh, my phone didn't have its sound turned off. Gretchen Goes to Nebraska is just a ginormous album. It's epic in scope, and just without being an epic album. You know, you think of like Queensrÿche, Operation Mindcrime as an epic album, or Abigail, epic album, but this just has this huge, this vastness that's just, oh, it's so awesome. I'm planning on doing some VCLT for somebody, and maybe some King's X will be in there. Anyway, so wow, we are at the last. So those are the 4, 3. Number 2 is going to make everyone just kind of go, "What the hell?" I love this album. When Dreaming Day Unite by Dream Theater. It's their first album. They had a guy named Charlie Dominici singing. Look at this. Look at this. a beardless John Petrucci. Oh, look at that guy. He was so good, though. He reminded me of Geddy Lee. What? You holding your Casio there? This is just ridiculous. Oh, he had, I think those were called Hot Sticks. I think he was endorsed by them. They were actually really good drumsticks, though, because they made 7A drumsticks that were fantastic, and they took forever to break. John Mayung with a 4-string bass. Ugh. This was one of Terry Date's first producing things, I believe. But the thing about this album is I like James LaBrie's voice. I think he's fine. Yes, over the years he's gotten a little bit less interesting, I guess. But this album, I listened to it so much, and the opening, the dun 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 boom, down, boom, down, just awesome, just awesome. I can't tell you how any other Dream Theater album starts, but I can tell you how this one starts. And the #1 album from 1989, Fate's Warning, Perfect Symmetry. Best album of 1989. Best album of 1989. Buy it. Listen to it. Love it.